Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, Brandon, back again with another video. Now, I made a video a couple years ago called How to Downsize or Downsizing Your Video Game Collection, and it's one of my favorite videos I've made solely for the fact that it's the video I've always wanted to make and what YouTube was meant for, where people can go down in the comments, reply, talk about how great this video is, talk about how it's helped them out, maybe some recommendations towards me, how they also downsize their collection. That is stuff I love, and to this day I'm still getting subscribers and recommendations and comments on that very video. So just last week or two, I had another comment come in talking about Backlog, and I figured, why not make a video? I really like this side of YouTube. I like talking about video games, not in terms of news, but just your collections, how you sculpt them, what you do with your video games, and how to go about them. Now, I know as gamers, the backlog is the biggest issue in all of our collections and video game journeys. It's that dreaded backlog, the backlog that you may have started 10 years ago, but still haven't played that one single game. I have 4 recommendations, or at least 4 things that I do personally that really help me out with my backlog, and I hope these 4 ideas help you as well. Again, I can't tell you how you spend your money. People buy games like me all the time, where I'm always buying new games, adding that backlog, making it even longer. But here are some things that I do to at least combat my dreaded backlog and to help me get through it and find new experiences every year like I did last year in 2021. So let's go ahead and talk about the top 4 recommendations I can do for you to conquer your backlog. Let's begin. Recommendation number 1 is lists. Now, it's a very simple concept and it really isn't based on video games. I would say this actually works really well for just life in general. Make lists. Lists help feeling accomplished. For me, playing a new game, I always want to make a list. So after I finish my latest video game, I hit the credits, I go on my list, and I put in the game title, and that is a game that I experienced in that given year on my list. And I'll see it at the end of the year when I, keep moving on. Lists are very helpful. They're not only helpful in video games, they're helpful also in life. I love movies, so every movie I finish, I put it in a list because it feels so rewarding finishing that movie or finishing that game. And then by the end of the year, you'll have a big list of all the things you've accomplished, all of the things you've watched. I find it very rewarding. It turns into a game within itself. Last year, I wanted to make the idea that I am going to play new experiences, or at least give myself more opportunities for newer experiences and less on replaying games. I can always play Donkey Kong Country, but maybe I should finally give Final Fantasy VII a try, and that's exactly what I did in 2021. I did so many new video game experiences, and that was so satisfying to go back and look at my list of exactly 40 completed games of 2021 and see a lot of those bucket list games like Final Fantasy VII, Yakuza 0, Rayman Legends. These are games that I've been personally recommended by friends and coworkers and family, and finally, after all these years, actually going to play Final Fantasy VII. It didn't disappoint. I was really happy about that. And it's just, it felt very rewarding playing a new experience. Like I said, I can always play Donkey Kong Country. Maybe I'll go play Dino Crisis 2 this year, who knows? You can always play those replayable games or just revisit a game, that's fine. But I feel like I find myself getting comfortable replaying just stuff I've already played. So watching new movies, playing new games, it's very rewarding and it makes you want to have more new experiences. And that's exactly what lists do. They really help me out. So on to the next recommendation. Recommendation number 2 is the website howlongtobeat.com. This is a website that is so crucial to me as a gamer. Every single game I play, every game I'm about to play, every game I'm curious in, I just want to know the runtime. As we get older, we start losing that childhood freedom that we used to have, and when you're a teenager, you have high school, you can get away with playing a lot of games. College, sure, similar things. But once you start getting a full-time job, you have family, you have relationships to take care of, you don't have as much free time as you would hope. So howlongtobeat.com has really helped me just on the day-to-day with, alright, I'm playing Guardians of the Galaxy. How long is this game? It's 20 hours. Alright, I think I can do it. Aside from, man, I really want to play this game. How long is it? 75 hours. I can't play that right now. This is a busy month. How Long to Beat has saved my ass a bunch of times in just terms of what to play at the right time. Sure, you can go ahead and play Persona 5, a 70+ hour JRPG that is absolutely fantastic, but not everybody has that time. So why play a JRPG in the month of January, as this recording, when you know you have crunch, you have work problems, you got, again, family issues, what have you. Maybe you want to pull back and look at, well, I always wanted to play Life is Strange, or that Call of Duty campaign I never got to play. Something that's around like the 10-hour mark. That is an easier pill to swallow for a lot of people, and howlongtobeat.com really helps me out with that. And it always gets me pretty excited when somebody recommends a game, and then I go to check it out, and it's right in my sweet spot. Everybody can manage time differently. Everybody's open to playing different games and however long they are. For me, I like to cap out my experiences at 25 to 30 hours at max. If it just happens to play longer, that's awesome. But for my story, single player experiences, 25 to 30 hours, that's tough these days. I really like 20-hour games or less, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Step number 3 is preparation and guidance. So you're playing, I don't know, you're playing Halo Infinite right now. You're really liking it. You're totally into the sci-fi setting. And you're going to run its course. You're going to play a little bit of campaign. You're going to play a little bit of multiplayer. And then you're going to shelf it and go on to the next thing. If you're riding a wave of science fiction or sci-fi or whatever you're into right now, keep riding it. Go have fun. Go play Warhammer or go play Alien Isolation. Play something that you're feeling right now, because it may lengthen your enjoyment of these newer experiences. Now, like I said, you can always revisit a game and still grab that awesome feeling and cross it off on your backlog. But again, we're looking at newer experiences, and usually that's what the backlog is. So if you have a list of a bunch of sci-fi games and you're really enjoying Halo Infinite, and then you go play Alien Isolation, you may end up really wanting to go play something else that is science fiction. And that is really fun. That's kind of how I am right now with movies. I'm really into DC superheroes right now, and I am obsessed with Superman. I watched a bunch of the movies lately. I'm watching the animated series, and it just feels so rewarding to consistently get a new piece of this character and a new experience. It's not just something over and over again that I've seen. So I highly recommend preparing what you're going to do, and if you really are enjoying something, lean into it a little bit. Maybe you can find, you know, more exciting games in your collection, or maybe you can add some games to your list that you'll want to check off right away. Last month I got into the SteamWorld series, which has been very highly recommended to me after all these years, and I finally sat down and I played SteamWorld Dig, and then I played SteamWorld Heist, and man, those games are incredible. So I really enjoyed those experiences. I have the entire collection, but sometimes you need a break. So you'll play a game, and then, hey, I may need a refresher. So, for instance, I watched Man of Steel the other day, and I wasn't feeling it. Like, man, I need a refresher if I'm going to watch something else Superman. So what did I do? I watched Batman Begins. Just something to clear your mind, get something different, and go back in. Also, with the preparation and guidance, I think it's always a good idea to stay focused on what you want to play next. So have in your backlog, or whatever you're interested in the docking bay, on deck, because you may be really enjoying Uncharted 1 right now, but before you enjoy Uncharted 2, sometimes, like I said, people don't want to play the games straight. So have Firewatch up next. Something different, something that would be like a palate cleanser from Uncharted. So you can go ahead, get a fresh new experience, jump into something else, feel refreshed, and then go back into Uncharted 2 and then experience that incredible game. And my fourth and final recommendation to you to beat that backlog is please play one game at a time. Yeah, it's very easy to get sidetracked. While right now I'm playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, just doing some DLC stuff that I never got to do, I also have Fortnite, which I like to play. And this is a healthy balance for me. I like having that single player experience and then having that multiplayer experience. So the multiplayer, you can kind of turn off your brain, play whatever you want. There's no attachment to completing a story or anything. And then you have your single player experience, because it gives you a break between the other two. Like I said, you could use this just like what I just said, where you may need that palate cleanser. So while you're in the middle of Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel's Spider-Man, Arkham Asylum, whatever, and you really want to go play Forza Horizon, do it. Go ahead, enjoy your time with it. Have that palate cleanser game of a multiplayer, or just that, you know, that friendly game that you can sit down, the Destiny 2s, the Halo Online multiplayer, Call of Duty Online, whatever you have, whatever you feel, Apex Legends, Fortnite. These are the games that will help you get through your burnout sessions, I guess, because it is tough. Playing a bunch of new experiences, sometimes people look at the older games that they have played. Like I said, Donkey Kong Country is one for me, Resident Evil 4 is one for me, where it is just comfort food. You could just play it, turn your mind off, and enjoy. Might as well just use the multiplayer experiences, or find that one game, I guess, to use as a comfort food. But the whole goal of beating the backlog is trying to just find time to get those new experiences. Enjoy what you're doing. Don't try and rush through the backlog. Just vibe out. Enjoy what you are playing. Lean into it if you're really enjoying it. If you, like I said, if you are enjoying your game genre, maybe lean into some new experiences in that genre. It's really rewarding. It's very satisfying. And at the end of the year, by making lists, it's really awesome to see. Like I said last year, I made it my goal to play new experiences, and I also logged all my games I played. So there were some replays in there, but it was a total of 40 games, and most of them were new experiences. And I felt so accomplished at the start of the new year, and I'm like, hey, can we beat it again? Can we watch 40 movies this year? Because I didn't do that last year. And it becomes this game. It's very rewarding, and it's fun. And I think the backlog is the biggest problem with gamers in general, aside from spending money on all these games, because that's all we do most of the time, and I'm still really bad at it. But that is my ultimate recommendation. This is kind of a video, just show it off on a whim. Some ideas, some recommendations I have personally that I use that really help me. I've been burning through a lot of good games. And also another key advice too is, if you're not feeling a game, just stop. Don't play it. Maybe come back to it when you want to give it another shot. Sometimes games aren't made for you either. Not every game is made for everybody, and I've learned that through a couple really big titles. For instance, one of the biggest games I think a lot of people are surprised I'm not personally into is Horizon Zero Dawn. I tried it 2 or 3 times. Gave it a solid shot. The first time I played it right after Breath of the Wild, and I couldn't get into it. And I tried it again on the PS5 with the 60 frame update, and again, I couldn't get into it. So, it sucks. It has everything I would want in that game, but I just don't feel anything when I play it, which it happens sometimes. Again, we're trying to conquer the backlog one day at a time. It ain't a rush. It's always going to be growing. It's always going to be building up. So that is my recommendations to you guys. If you have any other recommendations, please leave a comment in the comments down below. And as always, my name is Brandon, and I will see you all next time.